All right, guys, last section on 4.1, and then you're going to be done with this section, okay? So we're on page 43, and what I wanted to do is take a minute. We're going to look, there's an example on page 43. I believe it's example A. And so I just wanted to show you where they get the math that they use. It's talking about Q is the midpoint of PR, all right? And so I went ahead and drew that, all right? And I labeled it based on what they told me. And what they told me was that PQ is 4x minus 5, and QR is 11 plus 2x, all right? Now maybe if you remember in the last video, the video before that, when we were talking about midpoint, the idea is that the two parts are going to have to be equal to each other. And that's where they get the algebra they use. Basically what they do is they set this one equal to this one, and then they solve for x, and that's where their answer comes from, and then you plug it back in, okay? What I wanted to focus on, actually, if you look down at the bottom of page 43, is I wanted to talk to you about number 14, okay? We're going to go back and try these A in just a moment, but number 14, if you look down there, it's talking about bisect. Now, what does bisect mean? Bisect means that something is intercepted at the midpoint, all right? And your book also has a definition of bisect. It says a geometric figure that bisects another figure, divides it into two equal or congruent parts, all right? Now, if you haven't noticed yet, on the right-hand side of the pages inside your book, there's lots of useful information. There's going to be postulates, theorems, rules, things like that. There's also going to be definitions. The definitions are magical, okay? They will save you in geometry, because geometry really is a lot of vocabulary that allows you to apply that to a problem, allows you to apply that vocabulary to the problem to get algebra out of it, and then you have to solve the algebra, okay? So what I wanted to do is look at number 14, and what 14 is asking is, hey, if you had line segment WZ that bisected XY at point Z, now hold on, let's draw that real quick. So I've got WZ and XY. Well, XY is the one that's going to be bisected, and I'm cheating because I've read it. And so I'm going to draw my XY like this. Not that it matters, XY could look like this, okay? And we'll go ahead and do both just so you can see that it doesn't actually matter. And then I've got WZ is going to bisect it at Z. What does that mean? That means that Z is the midpoint. Now where's W? Doesn't matter. W's up here. Oh, look, there's W. All right. Or maybe here, the W's over here, and this is Z. Okay. Now it doesn't say anything about perpendicular, so maybe that's a 90, maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't have enough information. Okay. We draw it like this, but what it means is Z is the midpoint. It means that this length is going to equal this length. It doesn't say anything about this length. In fact, WZ could be really long. We don't know. All right. We know nothing about the length of WZ. We know nothing about the angle. All we know is that this length is going to have to equal this length. Okay. And that's what bisect gives us. Bisect gives us that relationship. Now, what I'd like you to do is take all the information that you've picked up over the last 45 minutes or so, and you're going to turn over to page 43, actually. And starting on page 43, you're going to do numbers 19 through 21. 19 through 21, okay? So take about 10 minutes on 19 through 21, and then I'll see you after that, and we'll start the next section.